How you doing, guys? One of my weak points is probably the use of photo editing and graphics. I'm primarily much better on video editing and audio. So I probably, for a long time, I kind of avoided using Photoshop. Now this is Photoshop Elements. It's an older version, I think 9. They already got it up to, I think, version 11, something like that. And so I've been playing around it, and I found some very unique settings in Photoshop Elements. Normally when you're going to put a photograph in here, now this had to be scanned because it is from 1957. So, or depending on what you use, it's primarily better to use a format, a better editing format such as TIFF, which is lossless, which means every time you save it, it won't lose information when it, in the compression mode, vice JPEG and some other ones. So if you scan photos in, try using TIFF if all possible. Okay, we got it. The photo scanned in right here. Now this is actually my father's photo from 1957 when he used to work in the restaurant. Notice the menu prices. And it's going to be a little bit slow because screen recording and doing other things in there, it tends to make it a little bit slower. So when you open it up, full is pretty much all manual. Everything's done manually, and they got two settings, which is quick. You can do some and or guided. And so if you don't really know much about Photoshop at all, beyond just very simple things, then you can use these settings. Okay, where you're going to be using guided because it gives you much more options. And if you notice in the photograph, especially the center in the white, the t-shirt and the apron is actually kind of overblown, I believe probably from the flash. And so we're going to actually tone that down a little bit. And if you look here, lighting and exposure, we can adjust that. And let me check out some things. Now we're going to cancel that. And we're actually going to choose lighten or darken. And from here, we can adjust the exposure saturation limit. Or we can choose auto, which it does it for you. But I found auto doesn't really work that great for me. So you can go in here and set the everything manually. And here there's three effects, only the dark areas, effects only light areas. Okay, since we're trying to tone down the overblown whites, we're going to set that up. I think it was about 12 I set last time. And that'll help keep the whites from being overblown. And we can also set the medium bright areas as well. And in fact, we'll set it just to see the difference between, and it's a little slow reacting because we're doing a screen recording too, so we're going to try to set it back to 0. Okay, we're going to finish up right there and keep that setting. And of course, you can do many other things as well. Another big thing is we're going to use is flaws in the photograph. It's actually a pretty good photograph already, but I'm going to show you some flaws that I noticed because I'm going to, once it's fixed, I'm actually going to print this out because actually it was originally a much smaller photograph. So we're going to set where we can actually see it better. We're going to try, oops, okay, that was the original. Okay, we're going to blow it up full screen so we can take a look at some of the flaws. And if you look it up the clock here, between the 6 and the 7 o'clock, we got a little bit information missing right here. So we're going to go ahead and go to touch up scratches and blemishes. And we're going to choose the to fix small flaws in photo. Select that. We're going to select the brush size is 13, I believe that's pixels right there. Now, it says we can convert the depth to 8-bit for some reason, and then it should work for us. And you'll see actually a circle, and we're going to go in here now. There's several settings you can use, and this one's set content aware, which I think it kind of it knows intelligently what the information is missing, and it kind of like takes the information from the surrounding area and fills it in. Proximity match kind of does the same thing, but it's not as intelligent, and often it just kind of duplicates the same thing, and sometimes it doesn't work. So we're going to keep it on content aware. It seems to work the best. And we're going to put that circle on the, oh, and that was a mistake right there. And we're going to go right here. And we flick start right there where there was a missing pixel right here too by the doorway, top of the doorway. And I don't know if you can see right here, but this is some scratches in the photograph. And in fact, this time we're just going to drag and click. And we just fix that scratch right there. Come up with that one. And it actually does quite a good job. And we've got a missing pixel right there that's missing. So we're going to fix that. And also up top by this brick, upper right hand side. And that's gone. So it works quite well. So this is some of the options you can find even if you don't know much about Photoshop or some even other video editors. So it works real well for me.